Thanks for joining us again. Now let's head straight into our guest segment. And today we are going to be talking about real estate business. And we have the founder, Africa Real Estate International Limited. His name is Onwuka M. Onyeka. Good morning, sir. Nice to have you on the show.
Good morning, and good morning to Lagos.
Good morning. How was your journey down here?
Amazing.
All right. Nice to have you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome.
So let's talk real estate. For a starter, what do you need to go into real estate business?
First, I want to say that real estate is a very versatile industry, and it is very welcoming and very prosperous one as well. So you need some basic information or some basic know-how, just like every other industry, on what you need to put in place to be able to succeed in the industry. A lot of people get into the real estate industry with little or no technical know-how, and that's one of the reasons that they fail. But if you have the right skill set and you know exactly what you have to do, especially with the startup at the startup level, then it gives you a level playing ground to be able to operate and do well in the industry. So
all right,
okay.
Let me butt in here. I'll allow you air more views on that. For the benefit of our viewers, I want you to please tell us what exactly is real estate.
Okay, real estate, before now, people believe that real estate is just about buying and selling of real estate properties. But the real estate space has gone beyond just buying and selling of real estate properties. Real estate industry is a very wide industry. Yes, it's about buying and selling. It's about management. It's about development. So they have various sectors of the real estate space that makes it so vast and wide. But one of the best things to do for a startup is to get into the real estate and know exactly the area that you want to focus on.
So now you're telling us now that the real estate is a broad field.
Yes.
So you cannot just find yourself in every angle of it. You just have to create a space for yourself.
Yes.
In that sector. So what space have you created for yourself? And we want you to give us an elaborate explanation about it.
Okay, so what we created for ourselves at the Africa Real Estate International is we brought in events and trainings. Yes, events. Before now, there are little events, so we realized that we could. One of the basic goal for real estate organizations is to buy and sell. All right, so they want to sell. There is real estate properties or what have you to sell. So they have to be investors. So they also have real estate investors. So we have real estate organizations and they have real estate investors. So what we have been able to do is to get into the industry and be able to create a platform where real estate investors can meet with real estate organizations. So that space is what we have been able to create. That's the area that we've been able to cap. So each year we organize annual conferences, seminars, and symposiums that bring these people together.
All right.
So if a young person wants to get into real estate in Nigeria, how does it start it?
Okay, first it starts with passion.
Okay.
Just like leadership coach and American author John C. Maxwell once says that someone with much passion and little skill will outperform someone with much skill and little passion. So passion comes in a lot. First, you have to look at the area. Why are you passionate about real estate? Are you getting into real estate space because your friends or because you had that someone just made, just blew, like they say, in real estate? So you have to have passion for it, because if you don't have passion, real estate, like every other business, you will also have your trying time, all right, like every other business. So, but your passion will keep you going. So I think the first things first is to have passion. And one of the ways to keep your passion going is to do adequate research. All right, understanding, like I said, the niche area that you want to, because real estate is broad. So you want to say, oh, this is the area I want to. So you do a lot of research, gives you an opportunity to be able to fine tune which one works best for you, which one you can do conveniently. Even when you wake up, you are excited. Nobody has to remind you to wake up in the morning and get to work. So passion is number one. There are other criteria if you want me to share with you.
Go ahead.
Before you share that, I just want us to be very practical about this for the sake of our viewers. Now, if someone wants to go into real estate, I understand the person has to come up with a business name, just the way you did. Now, aside from having a business name to the business that you want to have, registering it, do you need to have a license?
Yes. Their basic license for really first and foremost is before we get into before you start doing the business, all of that, your registration, first you want to do a business plan, because the business plan comes very handy for you. A business plan is like your map, it's like your guide. It helps you navigate even in trying times.
Sure.
You are able to go back to the drawing board and say, look, this is why we founded this organization and these are the objectives of this organization. So your business plan is very, very key. And like I said earlier, that your research also helps you know exactly the area. So for example, somebody says, I want to be developing properties and selling. So you now do a business plan for development, all right? So you don't have to do a business plan like ours for events. So you do your business plan for development. So I want to do development in this sector. Now, once that is done, you now have to do your registration. Of course, I think one of the basic requirements for national registration is your CAC, which is the Corporate Affairs Commission. And you can start very small, all right, especially for startups. You can start, even with a business name, you can get going to start. I think that's the first license that you need, a registration. Whether you're registering as a limited liability company or whether you are starting with a business name is good, but make sure that you register with the federal, government. It gives you an opportunity for people to have your account, your corporate account, so that you build trust. Once you're registered with the government, you build trust. Then within states, at different level, at different states, they have their agencies, regulatory agencies or body that regulate real estate.
I'm actually coming there. You're about to preempt my next question. But before we go right into that, I want to ask, is there a room for brokerage in this sector?
Yes. There's young people in real estate organizations are doing, when we join the real estate space, we realize that because of the event we organize, we're able to meet with different, players in the real estate sector. And the brokerage sector is also a very lucrative sector. And there are quite a lot of people who are doing amazing things in the brokerage sector, bringing innovations and idea into that sector. Because I'm not basically in that sector, I may not be able to speak about the brokerage, but with the young people that we've met at different event forums that we've organized, it's amazing at what they are doing at these various sectors.
All right.
We are meant to understand that one important aspect of real estate is the location. So how does the location influence real estate?
You mean the location to buy properties?
Yes.
Okay, that you are talking as an investor now.
Yeah.
There's a difference that like I said, you are either someone who is running a real estate organization or you're a real estate investor. So you either owns an organization or your real estate. So for an investor, there are key areas when it comes to investment opportunities, all right? The capital you have, the fund, the budget that you have, where you are looking at investing. So there's a lot of factors that come in. So location is, yes, location is one,
okay,
but it also determines, what your budget means.
Okay, you said something that the location only matters to an investor. Doesn't it matter to your organization, like someone who owns a real estate organization? The location doesn't matter to them.
Yes, it does. But because I was looking at it from the investor's point, because I wanted to look at it from the... So if you...
No, I'm talking about owning a real estate organization.
Okay.
Does your location, like where your location, where you take your investors to matters, or you can just go anywhere? Because, for example, having a location in Lekki can't be compared to having one at Magboro. So,
True.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to find out.
Yeah, so again, it goes back to when you're setting your business and where do you want to be? Where do you want to set up your business? For example, you're here, yeah, and you're doing amazing things within this community. So again, you can have your real estate depending on your budget and exactly where you want to build your organization, where you want to buy properties. For example, if you're a developer, where you want to develop. So you can say, I want to develop in the mainland, I want to develop in on the island. But then prices may differ, because if you're developing on the island in some specific areas, then you know that it cannot be compared to if you're developing on the mainland. So again, it also goes back to the budget of the organization, what they aim to achieve, building, developing their property in that particular area.
Okay, when we started the show and I was asking how can one delve into real estate, you said something about passion.
Yes.
You didn't mention money. So
yes, there's where money comes in, because I was
when does the money comes in?
Now you've done your passion is there, you've seen the niche area that you want to, play, that you feel like you can play very well in the industry. You've done your business plan, which is good. Now that business plan also gives you an opportunity to pitch to investors, all right? To pitch to investors, you could start with your capital, your savings, or you can have a group of young people. You can pitch to young people who have similar interests, and then people to invest in your organization. So with funding, it's regular with every other kind of business, how you go about funding. But I think that what gives you a niche in terms of raising fund is that you have a business plan, that people look at what you're doing and say, okay, this business, I want to invest. And because your business plan also shows the investor the return of investment, all right? But one thing must be very clear. You can start your real estate organization small, especially for startup, because we didn't have all the money when we started.
Okay, so we can say it in this manner. First is passion,
yes.
Business name,
business plan, which encompasses all your business name, okay, and all the registration.
Passion, business, yes, plan, and then the money follows.
Yes, no, you now do your registration. Of course, your business, you have to register your business name.
Yeah, it's all encompassed in that business plan.
Yes.
Then after that, money.
Yes, your money.
What I'm saying is, can the investor fund a real estate organization? For example, you said starting small.
Yes.
Then I start small, but I don't have the huge money. Can I bring an investor to, invest in my company?
Yes, absolutely. The tool or what the investor wants to see is the business plan, and he wants to look at it, critically. And that's why if you're doing your business plan, don't just do your business plan by yourself. For me, that's my own professional advice. There are people who have also carved a niche. While we venture into real estate, we also realize that people whose niche in real estate is just to write business grant for real estate company, or write business plan for real estate organization. So look out for these guys who can write a proper, well documented business plan. You share your ideas with them and they can help you carve out a business plan, because the investor is not just going to say, hey, I like your idea, oh, that's your business plan, and give. So they want to look at the I's and the T's, and wants to make sure that the return of investment, if you're saying that they're going to make returns of investment in 3 years, in 5 years, they want to see how that is going to be possible. Now, so your business plan comes handy for you to be able to raise capital. Okay. But you can keep going along the line, keep doing this, especially in the area. For us, for example, we're having events. So we don't basically need to, source for fund the way someone wants to develop, a vast area of land. So I think that you understand what you need and the amount you're looking for.
All right. I understand that in every sector there is an association.
Yes.
Right? And your association, for as long as real estate is concerned, is the National Association for Realtors. Okay. Am I correct?
Yes.
So tell us, what is the benefit? What is the help of this association to this sector?
I was going to say that one of the criteria also for starting up your real estate organization and succeeding is that you have to do a lot of networking. And networking, especially with networking around organizations and agencies that control the real estate space. Now, that is just one of the agencies here in Lagos. There are other agencies that does various, regulatory body or advices that they bring to the table. So you want to go to these organizations and sign up. For example, if you're a startup, you look at the one that that represents where your organization is going, or that regulates the area, the niche area that you have carved out, and you say, okay, you register with them. And so they have like trainings, symposiums, seminars All of those industry seminars, you attend them, it gives you an opportunity to grow individually, as the business leader, and also be able to help you with the quality information that you need to run. You don't want to be caught by the law, or doing the wrong things. So all of this also guides you. Aside that, there are also, organizations like ours and others out there who are organizing real estate events. So you want to go with your business card so that you can be able to network, because this business is about people. Real estate is about people. It's about your connect. It's about your contact. It is about your contact. We determine the level of your, your net worth in this industry. So one of the things that you must do is to network, join groups, sign up in the required agencies that you must, and then make sure that you are deliberate about networking. Attend some seminars and symposiums.
Now, let me ask. I know my colleague is also set to ask you some other questions. Now, talking about the association now, I understand that in starting up such kind of business, aside from having a business name, registering it, and belonging to the association, are there dues that someone needs to be paying, maybe either monthly or yearly, for as long as you want to remain with that sector? That's one. Then two, I've heard a lot of funny stories about those who are in the real estate, and I want you to throw more light on that concerning real estate companies going out there to tell customers that they have properties to sell. And these properties are properties that have not been given to them as a real estate company, maybe by those who are custodians of those areas. I mean, governments or traditional rulers who are custodians of such areas. They're not giving these real estates that license, you understand, to sell on their behalf or to get clients on their behalf. But they go about parading themselves as owners of those properties. And in the end, those who want to buy into these properties, maybe they find it very attractive in terms of the price, the location and all that, they fall into the wrong hands. What is the role of this association, towards those who parade themselves as real estate companies who are not really tied to a particular property? What is the role of the association? I'm hitting hard on that because I've heard funny stories about them.
True. There are quite a number of funny stories, especially as relates to investment by investors, all right? They say this property is for sale, and you invest your money, and all of a sudden disappear. You would agree with me that across sectors of the economy, there are people who are always going to be quacks, all right? You're going to have quack, just like you also have quack medical doctors, quack and all of that. People who do not have the basic requirement to start and run
such business.
Such. The agencies are, for me, for Lagos, I can speak about Lagos a little bit. The agencies in Lagos are doing an amazing job. And kudos to the Lagos state government. They are doing amazing, having various agencies that regulate. And you talked about the fee. It could just be some agencies do one-off sign-off, maybe for a year, and then you renew every year. It differs with various states. So one of the ways to be able to identify with the real estate organizations we've been able to work with, recently, we've realized that most of them are very qualified. So one of the first things we want to do, so as an investor, you want to verify before you jump out, because if the offer is too good, then you should be very careful. So you want to look at the real estate organization and look at what have they done, how long have they been here, are they registered, are they licensed? And these are very small ways to identify that. You can even get to CAC and look at, are these people registered? There's a small, you just go online and there's a way you check if the organization is even a registered organization.
So tell us, what are those codes or methods in which one can really check, check if somebody is really a registered entity?
Okay, so for us, because during our event, one of the things we do is to also recognize organizations who have done very well, within the African space, not just Nigeria, because we've also diversified to Ghana. So one of the things that we use as our criteria is to, how long has this organization been in this industry? What is their track record? How much have they kept their word? Because this industry is about trust. It's about trust. And the moment you a real estate organization loses trust within, you know, people, that's when you begin to have issues. So you want to build that trust. Real estate organizations, most of them build that trust by delivering what they say they would. And we've met hundreds of them in the couple of months that we've been running our event. We've seen quality organizations who are doing amazing things, and they have kept their words. We've also taken time to interview one or two of the people who have also, you know, bought properties from them. You go on their social status. Do they even have a presence on social media? All right, even if it's not very big, but what are they doing on social media? So you want to use all of these to be able to get to the buildings where they say you are buying property. Have you even gone there to do inspection? Have you, you know, do they have like their signboards and all that, their presence in that location that you are buying property?
Okay, what are the areas one can delve into when it comes to real estate? Because you've been mentioning areas, you keep on saying areas, that's carving a niche for yourself. Yes. So what are the areas one can go into in the real estate? So
I mentioned earlier before, you have real estate agencies, maybe buying and selling of property. You could just want to buy and sell property. You could want to get into the development space where you are developing properties, all right, where you buy lands, vast land, and then you develop property for lease or for rent or for sale. So there's a development sector. You also have the brokerage. You talked about brokerage earlier. Then you also have a facility management. Good. Those who say, you just, you know, I just want to be taking care of people's facility, you know, to prevent wear and tear. I want to be making sure that I manage a facility for them, bring in, what they call it, people to come and rent the property and take care of the property. So these are few various areas. But then real estate is also expanded like other sectors where you can come in, you know, and carve a niche and bring in something amazing or new. So for example, for us, we brought in events. And so we just carved that out.
I want to ask this question we have been talking about. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. How do you make money from real estate?
Okay, making money from real estate is, you have to sell. So first things first, what I would recommend that you do, be on social space. Social media is amazing. If you want to sell in the real estate, be on social media. Instagram is amazing. Facebook, YouTube, all of these platforms.
What about LinkedIn?
LinkedIn, yes. Okay. Put your company out there. So you have to, you know, deliberately put your company in. Have branded banners, branded logo, do your brand, and push your business. Put them on all the social media platforms. And then start marketing the products that you have. If you don't market, of course, you won't sell. So what product are you bringing into the real estate space, for example? So you give proper, like someone that was with earlier this morning, what she does is to rent properties for, is to help clients get properties like 2-bedroom flats, self-contained, even 1 room. That's what she does. Okay. So she helps, you know, clients, you know, rent apartments. So what she can put on her social media space, or what she's putting on her social media space is, do you want, so because she have an area, a geographical area that she wants to, you know, major on, for example, in VI. So she has been able to map in VI. Are you looking for a 2-bedroom flat, a terrace building, what do you want to buy? What do you want to rent within this space? I am the best guy to help you do this. So you have to start selling. You have to launch out your business there, out and start selling. And when the client comes, you already have your structure. So structure processes, putting the right structure, the processes in place. Don't forget, like I said, I talked about your business name and why it's also very important to register because of your account, for example. So when it's now time to pay and then you are giving them your account number, you know, your personal, your private account number, it doesn't, you know, they may lose that trust. Yes. So, but your organization now has an organization account details.
It looks real and genuine.
So that's about structure and process. So take time to put the right structure and process in place, because the opportunities are there. Real estate is lucrative. Yes, you're going to make the money, but if those structures are not there in place, it may turn off some clients for you. especially those clients who know how to do their vetting,
Yeah.
who wants to be very sure that this their 1 naira is not going to. So you just give them a personal account. They may not even get back to you, but you give them a corporate account. They say, okay, yes, so we can do business with this. So they make payments into that. So you just start.
All right, let me ask you, in setting up a real estate business, do you need to also think about having a department or a section for photography?
Absolutely. Now you have to, when you're starting as I'm passionate about young people, and first things first, when you're starting your your organization, you may be the director, you may be the manager, you may be the accountant, you may be doing all of this. Yeah. One key thing, like I mentioned, when you're networking, one key area that we also have to network effectively is on teams, people who are going to do business, who are going to be in your team. You can't do this alone. You can't succeed in real estate alone. You need team players to be in your team, to work with you in your organization. You could give them shares, you could sell shares to them, or you could pay them, or you could partner with them one way or the other. But having those right people, play a very, major role. For us, one of the reasons why I'm sitting here today is because of teamwork. You're right. Teamwork has been able to push us all the way. So yes, there is a section we have in our own organization. We have is a department for that, because we know the power of media, of course. Yeah. So we have photography, and of course we're also into events. So you cannot do events without having pictures, without having good video, quality pictures. So you even have to invest. For us, because our niche area is in entertainment, so it's not even something we don't even have to. We have to invest in those kind of gadgets that will be able to give us quality pictures, quality videos, so that we can be able to launch it out. So yes, I think picture comes in a lot. Now, for someone who is not in event, who is into buying and selling and the likes, or into development, you want to show people how the processes you are using to develop your, from the foundational level, when it was ordinary ground, now you have the foundation, to a certain level. You want to carry people systematically in such a way that they are following, especially because you're on social media. So you are using pictures to tell stories, because in today's digital age, you're using pictures to tell story, how you're building, where you are. There's a company that is doing that amazingly right now. I follow them and I see what they are doing. It's amazing, because they just carry me along the process, how they are built, and from an ordinary, an empty land, and you see the mansion they've been able to put maybe in 2-3 years and developing it fully. So picture comes in handy in this industry.
Okay, this is the last question. What's the best thing about real estate? What can you say is the best thing about real estate?
The best thing about real estate for me as an individual is that it gives everyone the opportunity to come on board. It gives everyone the opportunity to start with what you have. It gives everyone the opportunity, irrespective of your educational qualification, irrespective of your experience. It just gives you, it welcomes everyone.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts about real estate with us on the show today. And we have been speaking to the founder, Africa Real Estate International Limited. His name is Onwuka M. Onyeka, and he has shared a lot about real estate with us. We'll be going on a short break now. When we return, it's going to be the love segment. Stay with us.